So since it's 7 o'clock, let's go ahead and begin with the monthly meeting of the Silicon Valley Clean Energy. And let's start it off with the roll call.
Thank you, Chair. Before we begin, we would like Director Chua to make a statement about her participation this evening.
Thank you, Andrea. Hi, Chair. I am appearing remotely pursuant to AB 2449 under the Just Cause provision because I'm unable to attend in person due to a physical disability that cannot be accommodated. My husband, Conrad, who is over 18 years old, is in the room. Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Director Chua. And with that, I will take roll call. Starting to my left in person, Director Scozola.
Here.
Director Way.
Here.
Director Martinez-Beltran.
Here.
Director Makachuk.
Present.
Chair Tyson.
Here.
Vice Chair Walia.
Here.
Director Rennie.
Here.
Director Klein.
Here.
Director Meadows.
Here.
Director Showalter.
Here.
Joining us online, Director Armendariz.
Here.
Thank you. And Director Chua.
Here.
Thank you. And I will note that this evening we have Director Lee absent, but we do have a quorum of our board.
Great, thank you. Let's move on to public comment on items not listed on the agenda. You can see some of the guidelines there. Do we have any public comment on items not on the agenda? I do not see any in the room. And we don't have any online. Very good. So let's move on. And it looks like I don't cover this one. Is that right?
Is it my honor?
I think so. Well, the subject is the oh, no. Yeah,
Thank
you
you.
go ahead.
Thank you, Chair Tyson. So it is my honor at this point to look at our agenda items starting tonight's meeting. Happy 2024, everyone. To adopt a resolution commending Chair Tyson, George Tyson, for his dedicated service as Chair of the Board of Directors for Silicon Valley Clean Energy in 2023. And I'm going to be brief, keeping in style with his excellent leadership in 2023, which is to keep the meetings short, effective, and moving quickly. I do want to take a moment to quickly say I really appreciate your calm demeanor, technical expertise, and leadership regarding policy matters, as well as leading the new CEO search committee last year. And I'm looking forward to continuing to working closely with you. At this point, I would like to present on behalf of the board a resolution. Can we move forward as per board clerk? I'm trying to follow her directions. Can I go forward, please?
Do we need to vote on it?
Chair Tyson, what was your Wordle score today?
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
He's got to get to a mic to tell us.
So before we move to some comments from the board, I would like to open for public comment. Do we have anyone, Andrea? Okay, wonderful. Any thoughts from the board? Thanking Chair Tyson? No. You just want it?
Go ahead.
Okay. Go ahead, Drew.
I'll just say that Chair Tyson did an excellent job, as you mentioned earlier, and I will make a motion to adopt this resolution.
Director. Thank you. Director Klein, you wanted to? Okay. Wonderful.
Can I make a comment?
Go ahead.
It's the green one.
I would like to say thank you very much for being chair last year, and I will say that I enjoyed quite a bit of time with you. We drove from Reno, Nevada to the opening of Casa Grande 4, and then we flew back from there and also flew back from San Diego. And I think one more flight was coming from Las Vegas.
Yellow Pine.
Yellow Pine, yes.
Travel buddies.
No, that was really good. And it was a good year. So thank you.
Thank you. Director Klein?
I just wanted to say, thank you, Chair, for all your hard work over the last year. It's seeing you set a tone as well as bringing your knowledge to bear, and I think that's been one of the biggest things for me, is your knowledge of this organization as well as ultimately the ever-changing world of CCAs and how best, to a certain degree, how best to lead this organization and this board. And of course, doing the search for the new CEO and leading that effort. So taking on additional efforts that weren't really envisioned at the beginning of the year. So I just want to thank you personally. You have set a very good example for the next chair, and I think all of us on this board. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Can we have a roll call vote, please?
We do have Director Chua with her hand up online.
Thank you. Thank you. Director Chua, please.
Thank you, Chair. I ditto what everybody said. You're such a wonderful leader. And I want to add to that, it's also, you're funny. So you put us at ease, and the humor sometimes dry, but it's still funny. So we love to have you. So thank you so much for your leadership. Thank you, Chair.
Chair Tyson.
Thank you, Director. Humor is in the eye of the beholder, of course. One of the things I've learned that I've appreciated about this organization in the last year is how good I've gotten at writing quotes for press releases, because pretty much they send them to me, and I sometimes I make a small change, but it always makes me sound very educated, on top of things, and it's really working very well. But I will say, when it comes to this resolution, nobody asked for my permission or editing, and so I would have removed the comment in there about Wordle, especially since it was 4 today, Director Meadows. I would rather have put in something about the fact that I'm a trained rooftop solar installer for nonprofits. That's what I would have put in instead, but it's too late now, so.
Great.
Vote, please. Roll
Thank you. And I'm sorry, I missed the second. I have Director Rennie who made the motion, and can you please remind me who the second?
call. Director
Director
Makachuk.
Makachuk. Thank you so much. With that, I will proceed with roll call. Director Walia,
Aye.
Squazzola,
Aye.
Way,
Aye.
Meadows,
Aye.
Rennie,
Aye.
Makachuk,
Aye.
Martinez Beltran,
Aye.
Showalter,
Aye.
Klein, Armendariz,
Aye.
Chua,
Aye.
Tyson.
Yes.
Thank you. That motion carries.
With that, I give the meeting back to you, Chair Tyson.
Great, thank you. Thank you for those kind words. I'm quite embarrassed to hear them. Let's move on to our consent calendar items, and do we have any suggested changes from the directors? Do we have any public comment on the consent calendar? I do not see any in the room, and there's none online. Coming back to the directors then, do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Let's go ahead.
Chair Tyson,
Yes.
Vice Chair Walia,
Aye.
Director Scozola,
Aye.
Way,
Aye.
Meadows,
Yes.
Rennie,
Aye.
Makachuk,
Aye.
Martinez Beltran,
Aye.
Showalter,
Yes.
Klein,
Aye.
Armendariz,
Yes.
Chua.
Aye.
Thank you. That motion carries.
Great, thank you. Let's move on to the regular calendar, and we have a CEO report, and we have our remote CEO, Girish. You're up.
Thank you, Chair Tyson, members of the board. So a couple of items. One is the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals heard the Berkeley gas ban case, and we sent you an email regarding that. I'm going to ask Zoe Elizabeth, our Deputy Director of Decarbonization Policy and Programs, to provide you a short update. We've provided you an email update with some of our next actions, but we wanted to keep you current with our understanding of where we are now and actions that may be available to you. So I'll ask Zoe to update you, please.
Okay, so good evening.
Get closer. It looks live, just closer.
Okay. Okay. Good evening. Better. Thank you. Thank you so much. So as you all have saw, we sent an email around last week with the update from the most recent update from the Ninth Circuit. As you all also hopefully know, we really like to consider ourselves an extension of your staff, almost like your own energy department. And in that vein, we reviewed the decision quite closely to understand kind of the context. And the decision is quite broad, and it will be law now until it is, unless it is appealed by the Supreme Court. So for the long to mid-term, this is now the law of the land. After reviewing carefully the decision along with your city attorneys, some cities may find it reasonable to consider amending their current REACH code or gas ban. Should that be of interest or you have questions about that, our staff is available to meet one-on-one with you and one-on-one with your staff, as our special counsel is also available to answer any questions that your city attorney has. And we have several options that are kind of already laid out as model codes to help you easily through that process if it becomes necessary for you. That's my update.
Great, thank you. Is there more coming from our CEO?
Yeah, so if there are no questions for Zoe, wanted to update the board on my last item. Well, first of all, I should have said Happy New Year. It's great to see all of you, and also make my excuses as to why I am not there. Running a little bit under the weather and thought it's better for all of us if I attend this meeting remotely. But it's great to see you all together in this new year. And talking about new, I would like to ask our incoming CEO, Monica Padilla, to give you an update on how her transition is going. And I'll follow that up with a short update on the meeting we had at the Ad Hoc Transition Committee. Monica?
Good evening, board. So the transition is happening and getting closer and closer. So I have met with, I would say, 95% of all employees one-on-one. And I have now a much better understanding of what drives our employees, the challenges they personally see facing SVCE, but more importantly, why they chose SVCE to be their employer. So I have a better understanding of what everybody in the organization does. In addition to that, I've been meeting with the individual department heads and their kind of a choice staff to learn more about the department themselves and the programs and challenges and initiatives and all the great things they're working on for the departments. So from getting me better engaged with the rest of the organization, that's well underway, and I feel I'm much more informed now than I was a couple of months ago. So Girish and other members of the staff have been preparing me to better understand the needs of our community as well. We've been meeting with some of your city managers, doing kind of a roadshow, learning again what they know about SVCE, how we can help them, how we have helped them, and how we really want to be, as Zoe said, kind of an extension of their staff, a partner in this climate challenge. So we still have a lot of meetings to do. Girish is kind of following and learning from him and how he's been reaching out to or working with other external agencies. We've got new meetings lined up in the next few weeks, so all that's going well. I'm also making progress in establishing a new director in my department, in Power Resources, and making a few other changes in that group as well to ensure that the team runs smoothly when I move to run the whole organization. And then lastly, I have to say, I'm taking some vacation in February, so that was very much part of the transition plan. But lastly, I'd have to say that after taking a year break from playing Wordle, I am now back on Wordle. So I can fulfill my duties as a CEO effectively. And now I'm assuming whoever's the next chair will also be playing Wordle. So, all right. Okay, that concludes my update. Thank you.
Thank you, Monica. I wanted to update the board on a meeting we had with the Ad Hoc Transition Committee. We met last Wednesday for dinner, and we had two conversation starters. One was, what are board behaviors and practices that lead to CEO effectiveness and ineffectiveness? The second question was, what are CEO behaviors and practices that lead to board effectiveness and board ineffectiveness? So those were very broad questions, and we shared a Chinese cuisine meal and just talked for about an hour and a half. Some of the highlights were, these are obvious things really, being in the public sector, but it's good to just have these conversations as we go through a transition. No surprises. If things go wrong, inform the board immediately. Come up with a plan of how you're going to fix it. Don't overload the board with information. However, offer your opinion on priorities and importance. So there's a balance over there in the dynamic of leading and following. And so we went through many examples of that, of how best practices have worked in cities and in SVCE. Make sure your new board member orientations are done effectively. And then also update and orient the board as new issues come up. So we talked about different workshops that we've had as the industry has changed, right? We have board members who've been here for 3, 4, 5 years, and you may have had an orientation, but the industry has changed since then. Briefing board members, providing them information to have them well prepared for meetings, and prioritizing and making connections between specific board agenda items and maybe the strategic plan or things that the board member is interested in, to continue to doing that. And then, of course, participating in community events and knowing about what's going on in Santa Clara County as a whole and the kind of landscape that each of you are exposed to. So those are some of the highlights of the meeting. So I think as we talked to the end of the meeting, I said, well, should we meet again? And when should we meet? And we kind of thought, we don't think we need to meet again through my tenure here. So maybe there'll be one more meeting held after Monica takes over. So that's the general plan. So I wanted to give you an update on that. And that's all my, and also I know when we talked to the board, we didn't talk about any policy issues. This is purely on best practices. And we all thought it was time well spent. Chair Tyson, that's the end of my report.
Great, thank you. Let me see if we have any questions for you from the directors. I do not see any or comments. Any comments from the floor? I do not see any or online. So thank you very much for that report. We can now then move straight on to, and by the way, I remember the meeting exactly the way you described it, so that's a good start. Let's move on to our next item, which is the chair and vice chair procedure. And so let's begin with Andrea, information on who has expressed interest in these two roles that we're going to select.
Great, thank you, Chair. So as a result of our request for letters of interest for Chair and Vice Chair, we did hear back from a few folks. So for Chair, we heard from Director Tina Walia that she would be interested to serve for 2024. And for Vice Chair, we heard from 3 individuals. That would be Director Martinez Beltran, Director Makachuk, and Director Tyson. A reminder that this term will be for 1 year, and any member of our primary board can serve in either of these roles. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. Let's move on then with the addressing the role of the chair to start off with. And are there any others, directors who are interested, aside from Director Walia, who's submitted her application, who are interested in serving as chair? I do not see any in the room, nor do I see a hand raised, although I can't see Director Almendarez's hand. Okay, all right. All right, so in that case, let's move straight on, and let's give our one candidate, Director Walia, a chance to give us we've suggested a 60-second statement on your interest in being chair.
Thank you, Chair Tyson. So I'll keep it brief. You all know my background. You know I am very passionate about Silicon Valley clean energy and its mission. What I believe is really important, how we keep SVCE running smoothly as we move forward in the next stage for this organization. SVCE has technical expertise of an amazingly qualified staff and strong executive leadership. The board's role is to set policy, run effective meetings, and I remain committed to SVCE's success by running effective as well as efficient meetings. I did so as chair of the executive committee last year, also served on the Finance and Administrative Committee, as well as member of the Ad Hoc CEO Search Committee, and currently on the Ad Hoc Transition Committee. So I remain committed to its success of this agency and to fully support the staff as well as all the 13 diverse communities. I'd be honored to serve as SVCE's 2024 chair and ask for your vote. And I believe the Wordle baton has been passed on to me if I do get elected as chair. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Do we have any questions for Director Walia from the floor, from the directors? I do not see any. Do we have any questions, any public comment? I do not see any, nor in the room. So in that case, we'll return to the Board of Directors, and I'd be looking for a motion.
I'll make the motion. Okay. I'll make a motion to appoint Member Walia as chair of the Board of Directors of Silicon Valley Clean Energy.
Second. A second.
I'm sorry, who was that second?
I heard Director Martinez Beltran.
Okay, thank you.
You're a little behind her, Director Chua.
Okay,
Let's proceed with the roll call vote.
thank you. Director Scozola?
Aye.
Way?
Aye.
Armendariz?
Yes.
Meadows?
Aye.
Tyson?
Yes.
Rennie?
Aye.
Chua?
Aye.
Makachuk?
Aye.
Martinez Beltran?
Aye.
Showalter?
Aye.
Walia?
Aye.
Klein?
Aye.
Thank you. That motion carries with Director Tina Walia serving as SVCE's board chair for 2024.
Excellent. Congratulations. And now, as my last unofficial act, because I think I've already sort of expired here, I'm handing the virtual gavel over to Chair Walia.
Thank you so much. It really has been an honor working with you, and I look forward to your support and guidance. Thank you, each member of the board here. I am truly honored and humbled to be chair of SVCE for the coming year. I'm super excited. Thank you very much for your support. With that, let's move on to the vice chair elections. The role of vice chair is an important one. I learned a lot last year, and this year we are so fortunate to have the interest from 3 board members. I would like to start by asking, are there any other nominations from the floor? Seeing none, we're going to follow the process we followed earlier, that the three board members, Director Martinez Beltran, Director Brian Makachek, Director George Tyson, they provide a 60-second statement on their interest for vice chair, and we'll go in that alphabetical order. Right, board clerk? Okay. Thank you. So let's start with Director Martinez Beltran.
Thank you, Chair. So to my colleagues, I'm running to SVCE Vice Chair as I go into my 6th year serving on the board. I love the important work that we do as an organization. I'm excited about the opportunity. I've demonstrated my commitment to advance our SVCE mission at every opportunity presented. As a board member, I've championed our REACH codes, and Morgan Hill was, in fact, the only SEC city to adopt a gas ban and implemented a climate action plan for our city. To prepare for leadership position, I've taken my time to learn and create a strong background with the organization, my colleagues, build close relationships with the SVC leadership team, including our incoming and outgoing CEOs, that will serve well during our transition to support our new CEO, Monica Padilla. I've served on the audit committee, legislative committee, chaired the legislative committee, served on a couple of CEO negotiations, attended ribbon cuttings, CCA conferences, lobbied on the organization's behalf, and served on the executive board. I'm prepared to take on the vice chair role, supporting the chair and leading the organization. While I understand the interest in continuity, I think that the ad hoc committee we've recently approved provides that structure, and we have a strong steering support by staff, and the board is really here to set the policy. I'm confident in our new CEO and the way that we work together, and I'm both excited and prepared to serve as the new vice chair. I think it would be great to have both a mid-size and a small-size team leading the organization, and I have complete confidence in any of my colleagues that should become successful tonight. With that, I hope that I can have your support in this vote, and I thank you for your consideration.
Thank you. With that, let's move to Director Makachek.
Thank you. I'd be very interested and honored to serve as vice chair for Silicon Valley Clean Energy in 2024. I've been involved with Silicon Valley Clean Energy since inception, although I was on the Customer Program Advisory Committee, or group. And there's not many people left. I think Don Bray's the only one that used to be on that. And Garisha's first day, he was at one of our meetings. Anyways, I put in a page-and-a-half letter, and I'm not going to go through it, but I will highlight a couple things. I was an alternate for several years with Javed Alehi, and as alternate, I served on the Finance Committee and then chairs of the Audit Committee. And I actually discontinued being on the Finance Committee because I wanted to be independent as being on the Audit Committee. You kind of can't audit what you're on the Finance Committee. But I was on the Executive Committee and Vice Chair of the Executive Committee, and served on the Legislative Ad Hoc Committee, and I believe Chair Tyson and I spoke with Senator Becker as we were coming back from Casa Diablo 4, going to Reno. And I did quite a bit of work on the prepay agreement way back in the very first one, and that was very complex and spent a lot of time working with our external consultant and our CFO on that. And I'm a huge advocate of electrification. I've owned, I think, 7 different electric vehicles. I didn't know what a heat pump water heater was until I was on the Customer Program Advisory Group, and then since then I've had 2 heat pump water heaters. have an all-electric home, and also put in a heat pump HVAC just this year on one of my properties. So I'm a huge advocate, and I invest in electrification. So I would be delighted and honored to serve as vice chair, and I ask for your support.
Thank you. Director Tyson.
Thank you for the opportunity. I feel like you kind of already know my work and my background, and so let me instead just pivot and say, what have I learned this last year about being chair? And then what has prompted me to decide to apply again for vice chair? And what I've learned is that this is a complicated operation. And the other thing I've learned is that it's getting even more so as the pace of development and the pressures that we're under from regulatory perspective, from pricing, reliability, they're all becoming more extreme. One of the things I did while chair was do more outreach. And so I met with the chair of Peninsula Clean Energy, where he told me that they served a 2-year term as chair there. And I thought, this isn't like a city council. There's a lot more that you have to learn. And you already know this as board members. You don't just step into this role and start functioning right away. So that's what got me into thinking, we're at the cusp of new things. We've got a new CEO. That's just one piece of this. We've got an expanding business requirement, increasing staffing, and focus on our programs. And so I feel like I'm all in. And I want to be a part of that. And to be there with our new chair and with all of you and the staff and support our activities as we continue at that more complex pace. Thank you.
Okay, so are there any questions or comments from other board members? Director Scozola.
Yeah, so this is a very different year. I was speaking about this earlier, but when I first came in last year, I didn't know anybody, it was just, so it was just like, you, I guess, kind of a situation. Now, I'm of course very familiar with all of you, and anyone I feel can serve. I think everyone has their very unique talents and abilities that they bring, and so this is actually hard for me this time. Last year, it was difficult because I was ignorant. This year, it's difficult for the exact opposite reason. So I just wanted to say that I'm glad that we have several directors that are all vying for the position, and I'm happy with our new chair. I'm glad everyone seemed to be nodding their heads in agreement. Yes, this seems the logical thing to do. So with that, those are my comments for now. I thank you guys all for your interest, and I think we're going to be in good hands no matter what.
Well put. Director Meadows?
Thank you, Director Scozola, because certainly everything you said is true. It's a embarrassment of riches, our choices. So, and each of you, I've learned, and our new chair, Walia, I've learned a lot from. So despite that, we're going to have to make a choice. And so there's pros and there's pros for everybody. There's really not any cons. But when it comes to my mind, what is compelling to me in this year of transition is to keep the partnership that we've had, chair and vice chair, albeit roles flipped, as we transition the organization from one CEO to another. I do acknowledge that both of you will be on the board, but I think having the natural partnership of the chair and vice chair working closely with the new CEO, to me, provides a continuity and would be helpful this year. Again, any of the three of you have a wealth of experience, and I'm impressed with all of you, but I think the continuity is exceptionally important this year, and so that's where I'm advocating for, which would be Director Tyson.
Thank you. Other comments? Director Way?
So I want to say, as an alternate, that attending this very important meeting, I did consult with our mayor, current mayor Sheila Mohan, who just came back from India today and could not make the meeting ahead of time, just so that I would express her wishes and her insight. I want to say, since I was elected 2020, I've been listening to your meetings, almost every meeting, so I am very familiar with all of your work, and I work with Brian on a few committees, and I know how experienced you are. So I am going to say I am voting on behalf of our mayor, Sheila Mohan.
Any other comments online? And there is a hand raised. Andrea, that's Director Armandaris.
Yes.
Thank you. I am here as an alternate, but I think I speak for myself and Director Hilton as council members in South County that we support Councilmember Martinez Beltran because she's an active voice. She's an active member of this committee who shares or disseminates the information and the knowledge she gains from this committee, often with us in South County, and more importantly, not just to electeds, but to our community at large through the various ways that she participates and has community events pretty often. And you can see her speaking and advocating for the work that's done here. And I just really appreciate that about her. And so I'm happy and proud to support her with my vote tonight.
Thank you for your thoughts. Director Martinez Beltran.
Thank you. I want to thank everybody for their comments. I agree. I think all of us are well prepared. In fact, everybody on this board. And part of that, I guess I'll just say, is I think if, perhaps if it were presented, I think it would have made maybe more sense to continue the chair and vice chair team as it was. But since we've changed that, and I feel like the organization is really driven by our staff. We do work with our staff, but we're really looking at the policy and how that's going to be implemented within the community, how we think that we can both best as cities have impact in our communities. And so, and so I would, I do very much agree. I just think that we also need to look at building the bench. And this is a time where we do have some people that have some longevity. And, part of the reason I didn't seek this last time was I thought, there were some other people who were identified, and I thought, sure. I mean, I was looking to kind of just grow and continue to grow my knowledge. But at this point, I think we also need to look at making sure that we're having everybody kind of get those leadership skills as well, and in different capacities. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you.
Thank you. Director Chua.
Thank you, Chair, and congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
Well deserved. I do agree with the comments about continuity, because we have a new wave of leadership coming in, new employees, and at least there's continuity in the board. And I really believe in the commitment, dedication of these two, of George and Tina. They are good partners and good, and they do the work. They're committed. That you can see there's passion in them. And I think I would like to see that another year. And maybe, and I do appreciate the other the other board members who expressed their interest. I commend you as well. Thank you all so much. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Director Chua. So at this point, let me mention the process that I suggest we follow. We'll take a vote on the 3 directors who have shown an interest. When your name is called, each of the directors, please say the name of one of the 3 that you would like to vote for. And board clerk has informed me we need a majority, which is still 7 with 12 attending. We need a majority of 7 votes to be identified for our next vice chair. In case none of the 3 gets 7 votes, we will go with the top 2 vote getters, and we will again take a vote till one of the 2 gets 7 votes. And then we will formally ratify it. So let's proceed with that vote. When your name is called by Andrea, please mention either the name of Director Martinez Beltran, Director Mekachek, or Director George Tyson.
Thank you, Chair. And we will be going in order of member agency alphabetically. So I will begin with Campbell. Director Scolzola, your vote, please.
Martinez Beltran.
Thank you. Director Way.
Director Tyson.
Thank you. Director Armendariz.
Director Martinez Beltran.
Thank you. Director Meadows.
Director Tyson.
Thank you. Director Tyson.
Director Tyson.
Thank you. Director Rennie.
Martinez Beltran.
Thank you. Director Chua.
Director Tyson.
Thank you. Director Mekachek.
Director Mekachuk.
Thank you. Director Martinez Beltran.
Martinez Beltran.
Thank you. Director Showalter.
Martinez Beltran.
Thank you. Director Walia.
Director Tyson.
Thank you. And Director Klein.
Director Tyson.
Okay, thank you. So that was a vote for 6 for Director Tyson, 5 for Director Martinez Beltran, and 1 for Director Mekachek. We did not receive 7 votes for 1 person. So we will be voting again, moving forward with Director Tyson or Director Martinez Beltran.
Okay, let's call for that vote, please.
Thank you. Director Scozola,
Martinez Beltran.
Director Way,
Director Tyson.
Armendariz,
Martinez Beltran.
Meadows,
Director Tyson.
Tyson,
Tyson.
Rennie,
Martinez Beltran.
Chua,
Director Tyson.
Mekachek,
Tyson.
thank you. Director Martinez Beltran,
Martinez Beltran.
Director Showalter,
Martinez Beltran.
Director Walia,
Director Tyson.
and Director Klein.
Tyson.
Thank you. And that is 7 votes Tyson, 5 votes Director Martinez Beltran.
Thank you. I want to thank each of the 3 directors who have offered to work this year as vice chair. That shows how deeply each of the board members is committed to this organization, how much we respect the fabulous staff we have, how much we want to work with them, as well as the deep passion we have for this cause of working towards reducing the emissions. Congratulations, Director Tyson, as vice chair. I look forward to working with you. Thank you very much, Director Martinez Beltran. Thank you very much, Director Mekachek. I know there are so many ways, numerous committees that we will see your continued leadership on in the current year. Thank you so much. Thank you to all the directors for working through this difficult task where we had all great solutions, as Director Meadows put it. Okay, with that, let's move on to the last item on tonight's agenda, which is item number 4, to appoint directors to 2024 SVCE Executive Committee.
Chair, if we could have just a ratification vote of that
thank you.
last item, please.
Thank you. Thanks for reminding me. I just missed that. Okay, so back to the vice chair election. I need a motion for what we just went through to formalize it, and then I'll need a second for the motion, and then we'll have a roll call vote again. Okay, Director Rennie.
I'll make a motion to appoint Director Tyson as Vice Chair for Silicon Valley Clean Energy for 2024.
Second.
Thank you. I heard a second from this side. Okay, did you get that?
That was Director Martinez Beltran? Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Can we have a roll call vote, please?
Yes. Director Scozola,
Aye.
Director White,
Aye.
Director Armendariz. Armendariz?
Yes.
Thank you. Meadows?
Aye.
Tyson?
Yes.
Rennie?
Aye.
Chua?
Aye.
Makachek?
Aye.
Martinez Beltran?
Aye.
Showalter?
Aye.
Walia?
Aye.
Klein?
Aye.
Thank you. That motion carries.
Thank you all, and now formal congratulations. I missed that step. Okay. Item number 4, appoint directors to SVCE Executive Committee for 2024, and our board clerk will help us through that.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, so as a result of our call for those to let us know who would be interested in the 2024 Executive Committee, again, this is a group that meets monthly and helps with operational matters and organizational matters. We heard from 6 individuals. We have 6 seats, and so on your screens, you will see the 6 directors who we heard from. They are Director Sally Meadows, Director George Tyson, Director Brian Mekachek, Director Yvonne Martinez Beltran, Director Tina Walia, and Director Larry Klein.
Thank you to all the 6 who have expressed an interest. Are there any other board members who are interested in serving on the executive committee? If not, any questions? Director Showalter.
Yes, I look at this and I see that there's a mix here of a large city and Sunnyvale, Mountain View, where I understand are our largest cities, and smaller cities. And I think that that's healthy. That mix is healthy. And I was wondering is, being a new member, do we have a policy or a custom as to how we expect that to vary over time? Or is this more associated with the individuals than the cities that they represent?
I think it's an instinct. We kind of find that right balance. And it's the individuals who are willing to put in the time and effort. And that's the place where we go through a lot of detail of the issues that bring it to the board meetings to keep these meetings running smoothly. I don't believe there's a policy right now, and board clerk is agreeing with me. Do you have any other thoughts on that? Do we have a system in place beyond that?
No, we do not have anything formally in writing in terms of process for appointments.
And we expect the group to be approximately 6 people, is that?
It has evolved over time. Currently, it is at 6.
That seems reasonable. I'm just asking. Okay, all right.
I have seen some changes in the time that I have been on the board. That's why I said it continues to evolve. And that's the best part of SVCE. On numerous fronts, we keep on evolving as we are a young organization.
That's right. Well, I see myself as a new member, not really being ready to take on the executive board at this time, but I also see myself perhaps interested next year.
Thank you.
There's other committees coming.
Yes, next month. Thank you. Thank you, Rob. In February, we will have other committee appointments coming up. So stay tuned. Or you can work with staff to find out which ones they are and check the website. Okay. Director Makachuk.
I'd like to make a comment on that, on the point that you raised, Director Showalter. What I was taught and trained is that although the city or the municipality appoints a representative to the board, once you're on the board, you act on behalf of all your constituents for the entire JPA. It's not like this is Monte Sereno's view. You have to look at it holistically because every one of those of the JPA in the area are your constituents. So when I, coming from the smallest city, am on a board, I have to think of everyone, so I just want to make that clear. It's not just like you serve your self-interest. So I just wanted to make that comment.
Thank you. Any other comments? Okay, let's open public comment period. Do we have any hands raised online?
None online, no.
Seeing none, we'll bring it back to the board for Any further comments or a motion to approve the 6 members as presented by Board Clerk?
Chair Walia, I wasn't sure if you were going to ask, because I don't want, just because there are 6 and we're looking for 6 doesn't mean everyone, you know. I'm not suggesting we're rejecting anybody, but I felt, because I feel like I'm a relative newbie, if you wouldn't mind me taking 30 seconds to just introduce myself, because I don't feel, I mean, several of you did that already, and we know, but I just wanted to give a little pitch. And it partly gets to your thoughts as well, Mayor Director Showalter. So this is my second year as director, and I served 2 years as alternate. The director, Nisa Flagger, attends everything, so I didn't fill in for her too often, but I did make sure to attend all the trainings. In Los Altos, we're very focused on climate action, and we have an ambitious climate action and adaptation plan. And last year, my first year as director, I served on the Risk Oversight Committee and also as vice chair of Finance Administration. So one thing that's very interesting about this organization is how technical all the subject matter is. And I don't say it very often, though I do say it. I actually have a bachelor's degree in chemistry, not chemical engineering like Vice Chair Tyson, but I'm no slouch technically, but this is hard stuff. So I felt, maybe like you feel as well, I didn't put myself forward last year, but did serve on other subcommittees. And so I did put myself forward this year. I still don't claim the technical side is my strength, but I have, and I'm still learning. Every single meeting I learn, but I have a good strategic sense, and I think I have ways of looking at things that sometimes other people don't, and I can ask good questions. So I think this role would be allow me to build on the partnership between Silicon Valley Clean Energy, Los Altos, and the whole JPA. And so that is why I was interested in serving on the executive committee and put my name forward. And my colleagues didn't necessarily know that about me, so I did want to throw that in.
I appreciate you taking the time. We all work closely together on some other committees, and we have new members here today. So that's wonderful. Great.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Motion? Director Rennie.
I'll make a motion to appoint Directors Walia, Mekachuk, Martinez, Beltran, Klein, Tyson, and Meadows to the Executive Committee for Silicon Valley Clean Energy for 2024.
Second.
Second.
We have second, third, fourth. Who? Second, Director Scozola. Okay.
Yes, I have Scozola as second.
Let's have a roll call vote, please.
Thank you.
We took public, there was no one. Yeah.
There was no public comment.
Great.
Okay. Chair Walia?
Aye.
Vice Chair Tyson?
Yes.
Director Scozola?
Aye.
White?
Aye.
Armendariz?
Aye.
Meadows?
Aye.
Rennie?
Aye.
Chua?
Aye.
Mekachuk?
Aye.
Martinez Beltran?
Aye.
Showalter?
Aye.
Klein?
Aye.
Thank you. That motion carries.
Thank you. With that, we come to the end of the meeting. Are there any board member announcements or direction for any future agenda items?
Chair.
Director Chua.
Yes, I just want to share that I initiated, well, I recommended for the council, our Milpitas Council, to start a Going Electric Tuesday. Because 2 years ago, I started the ADU Monday, and it's very effective in reaching out to our community. So with that, we also have a ADU corner. So I'm also proposing our city council ADU corner. Underneath that would be going Electric Tuesday. And underneath that, there's more sub pages to that. So I'm excited about it. I'm looking forward to from the grant from the federal and also from Silicon Valley Clean Energy that we can use to electrify hundreds of residents, I'm hoping, homes in Milpitas. So I'm excited to see when it gets implemented, going electric Tuesday and going electric corner on our website. I wanted to share that with everybody. Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. That's excellent. Any other comments? Seeing none, we are at the end of the meeting, and the meeting is adjourned at 7:55 p.m. Thank you all so much.